Hey Facebook, good night, good night, good night, everyone. How are you guys doing? Do you see how pretty I look and do you see the ugly person behind me? Hello everyone, it is me and my daughter.
My smile is beautiful, so it's alright.
No, you're beautiful. You're beautiful even when you're ugly like that. You know, it works. So I am just coming home from a meeting and I thought I'm already dressed up, so let me just use my time and do a Facebook Live quickly. And I titled my talk tonight, How to Rewrite Your Story or Rewrite Your Story. And I took that simple topic from the fact that sometimes, you know, in life we are throwing some stuff and it all seems like we are at a full stop and we're parked and we don't know how to pick up the pieces and get on. And we don't know how to even start over and we don't know where to begin. And everything looks so dismal. And the truth of the matter is all of us, whether it's something small, something large, all of us go through these phases in our lives when some area of our life look as though, you know, it's impossible to pick up the pieces. It's impossible to get going. It is impossible to continue. It's difficult. Thank you. It's difficult to just move on. And
is the kettle loud?
No. And sometimes it looks as though, you know what, we can't do this. And a lot of us sometimes get to that place. Hi, Monica. Hi, Kalia. We get to that place where we almost feel like, I can't do this. And how do I know? Because I've been there many times. I've been there a lot of times in my life when things look so dismal. They look so impossible. Hi, Joy. Long time no see. They look impossible and it looked like it just will not go on. And I'm here to tell you, as somebody who has failed English, failed math, been sexually abused, homeless, failed marriages, failed businesses, spent 26 months in court fighting battle, I'm here to tell you that even when everything around you look as though it's not going to happen, it is impossible, that you're never going to break through, I'm here to tell you that you can rewrite that story. You can rewrite that story in your life. Hi, Cresta. Long time no see. You can rewrite that story. You can pick up the pieces and you can start again. And here's the thing. You don't even have to start with the history of what went ahead. It's been a long time, I know, right? You don't have to rewrite your story with what happened before. You can literally close the past and decide I'm going to start a new chapter. And I'm doing amazingly well, honey. I hope you're doing well too. I'm going to start a new chapter. And I don't even want to deal with that part of my life right now. You can park it. You can put it on hold temporarily. Hi, Gavin. There's absolutely nothing wrong. And rewriting your story doesn't mean that you have to close it. It doesn't mean that you have to carry the past with you. You can rewrite it by saying, you know what, I'm going to leave that behind. That's my past. I'm going to draw a line under it. I'm going to start a new page, a new leaf, new canvas. And you can pick up the pieces. And sometimes rewriting your story means you have to get up and say, I'm going to leave this house. Because probably the memories or the situation around this situation is giving me the discomfort and making me feel like I cannot move on. Sometimes you have to physically move to another space and place to rewrite your story. Sometimes you have to make the decision in your head that I'm going to rewrite the story in my head first. Because sometimes the physical rewriting cannot happen until the mental and emotional happen. And I believe that it's so beautiful to rewrite your story every time you get the chance, because you keep adding layers and chapters to it and it gets so much deeper and so much more interesting. And rewriting your story here is not a physical taking up a pen and paper and writing a book or whatever. That's not the story I'm talking about. I'm talking about rewriting the story in a marriage. I'm talking about forgiveness. I'm talking about friendship. I'm talking about your business. I'm talking about dropping the past behind you. That's the kind of rewriting the story I'm talking about. I'm talking about the kind of rewriting the story where you say, you know what, I don't care what I've been through. I don't care what life has thrown to me. I don't care. I'm going to pick up my pieces and I am going to mend them together. I'm going to take what's useful. I'm going to throw what doesn't serve me. And I'm going to move on. And let me tell you something. There is a beauty in being given a fresh new canvas. Because with that new canvas, you can paint all kind of shades of gray and blue and yellows and oranges that you want. You have got the ability to turn a new page, turn a new leaf, and move on. And no matter how bad yesterday looked, no matter how hard it feels, no matter how impossible it feels like you cannot do it, trust me, every impossibility is an opportunity for you to do something new and amazing. So start a new chapter in your life, like Gavet just said. Start a new leaf. Pick up the pieces. Don't be afraid to start over. Don't be afraid to say, you know what, Lord, I surrender. I need your help. I need your guidance. Don't be afraid to rewrite those chapters, rewrite those stories. And let me tell you something. I say to people all the time, don't be worried about the people who only read one chapter of your past and one chapter of your story and make up their own conclusion. You can write chapters and chapters and chapters. And I don't mean a physical book. You can change the narrative, change the landscape, change the trajectory of your own life by rewriting your story. When I got up and I decided that I was not going to do this anymore. I was not going to sit in a marriage that wasn't serving me. And when the man left and I decided I'm not going to go back this time, it was hard. It looked painful. I had a young son. I had a daughter who was about 10 and I was scared. Oh my God. Like I was so scared. I can tell you guys, listen to me. I was dead scared of picking up myself out of yet another failed marriage and rewrite that story. And oh my God, like I had shame, I had guilt, I had rejection of myself, I had all kind of thoughts about what everybody's gonna say. Because guess what? When you're to rewrite your story, you get into your own head and you start thinking about all of the negatives first. You don't see the positive, you don't see what is possible, you don't see how good it could be. All you see is all the negative. Oh my God, what would my family say? How will people judge me? Hi, Nemo and Gavith and Jean and Caroline. Oh my God, long time. You start thinking about everything that everybody would say. And you start self-doubting. You start judging your own self based on what you think the world is going to judge you by. And you start even seeing things that people would not even see. You start feeling emotions and feelings that the world would not see because you are in your own head. Let me tell you something. It's okay to feel like that. When you decide you're going to rewrite your story, all kind of schism is going to show up in your life to derail you because it doesn't want you to push forward. It doesn't want you to go ahead. It doesn't want you to start over. It doesn't want you to go and claim your greatness. All kind of schisms are going to come across. You're going to come across when you want to rewrite that story. But let me tell you something. You just close your eyes sometimes. Sometimes go to sleep because that's what I do. Sometimes when the schisms come and all the shenanigans happening around me, I just close my eyes and I go to sleep. As Abraham Hicks says, you close out the momentum. You shut it down and go to sleep and start a new day and start fresh. And sometimes when you're going to rewrite your story, you're going to have to just make a hard-ass decision that this is what I am going to do. Sometimes you can't think about the children. You can't think about everybody around you. You have to think about yourself first. And this year I had to make a really hard decision about rewriting chapters of my story, not physical story. And I couldn't think about everybody else. I couldn't think about all of my, my kism. I couldn't think about the kids first. I had to think about Ava first. One of the best decisions I've made. So I'm just here to tell you guys because I'm just coming from a business meeting and I thought I was dressed up nicely. And I wanted to just use my makeup and my clothes while I'm here, and to say to you guys, don't be afraid to rewrite the story. It's the end of March. We're actually in April. I don't want to scare you, but summer is here and Christmas is here as well. It sounds crazy, but it's true. The moment we get past April, it is almost Christmas. May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. It's 8 months. Like, it's 8 months to Christmas. And I'm not being facetious. I'm not being scaremongering. It is 8 months to December. Like, how did that happen? We just started January, right? So now is the time to rewrite your story. Now is the time to decide that, you know what, I'm going to make a new start so that 2019, end of 2019, will catch me or find me in a place where I am all set. I would have lived my best life. I would have lived purposefully. I would have become awakened. I would have been serious about some changes I need to make. Sometimes the changes you need to make, they're not as scary as they look. Sometimes you just need to step out in faith, like the mustard seed, and say, you know what, I'm going to try this. I'm going to take a new page. I'm going to do it no matter what. Like sometimes you have to be non-negotiable. You have to risk it all. You have to be all in. Sometimes the reason that we can't rewrite our story is because we're not all in. It's because we have 1 foot in and we have 1 foot out and 1 foot in, and we're shaking it all about. And we're doing the okey pokey, and it doesn't work like that. You got to go all in. You got to decide, you know, I'm going to go all in. I'm going to be in this no matter what. Come rain or sun, I'm going to be in it. You're going to take the walk of faith. Thank you, Tina. You're going to step out and say, you know what, Lord, I'm going to do this. And I know that you're going to hold my hand. And sometimes you're going to be a little bit shaky. Steve Harvey says, if you want to succeed, you got to jump, right? And when you jump, your parachute will not open straight away. Like, can I just tell you guys how many bumps I've had on this journey? Oh my God. I'm writing a new book. Oh my God. I'm telling all in this one. If you think Mango Girl was hard, wait for this one. How many bumps you have I was on the phone to Paulette this week. And I had to come off the phone with her because I had to just jump. And she's on the call, so I'm not making it up. Sometimes you just have to jump and decide that I'm going to do this. This is the time. This is my season. I'm going to hold this by the hand and I'm going to just take the risk. And guess what? So what if you fail? Failure is feedback. Can somebody write that for me? Failure is feedback. Failure is saying going back to the drawing board. Failure is saying have a new look. Failure is saying see it this way. Failure is saying that you didn't give it enough thought. Failure is saying this is not the right idea. Okay? Sometimes that's what failure is telling us. Failure is giving us feedback about that which we are doing, how we shouldn't do it sometimes, how we should look at it a different way. Sometimes that's what failure is trying to tell us. Failure is trying to tell us, hold on, Ava, hold on, Jackie, hold on, Shadika, hold on. Just try and look at it this way. Have you thought about looking at it from this angle? That is what failure is sometimes trying to communicate with us. But thank you very much, Gavin. But we see failure as, oh my God, this is never going to work. These things don't happen to me. Oh my God, I know it wouldn't work. No. Failure is lessons learned to make something better, to make a new direction, to take a new leap of faith, to start something afresh, to evaluate. Failure is saying, examine yourself, right? And that's why we can rewrite our stories from our failures sometimes, and sometimes from our successes too, right? But we seem to have more failure stories than success stories, and that's okay because you can turn your failure story into a success story. And I'm hell-bent on doing that. I'm hell-bent on turning my story into success. I'm hell-bent on changing the landscape and the trajectory. I'm hell-bent on leaving a legacy. I just came from a meeting a while ago, and I was talking about an idea that I'm working on behind the scenes, and not many people know about it because it's private for now. And they're like, Ava, we're interested. Can you? No. But that came out of a failure. So when you're rewriting your story, 4 things I'm going to leave with you that you need to do. Number 1, remove yourself from every energy that's going to make rewriting that story difficult. Example, if you're trying to leave alcoholism, if you're an alcoholic or a prostitute, for example, and you're trying to leave that life, you can't be hanging around with people who are drinking, people who are prostituting, people who are sexually overactive, you can't hang around those people because you're trying to break away and rewrite the story of something in particular. So number 1, when you're rewriting your story, you cannot be hanging around with people who are going to drag you back into that situation, right? You got to regenerate. There you are. Number 2, when you're rewriting your story, you have to be committed to doing it. It is not always easy. Do you know how many times how many times I've cried? How many times I've failed in even rewriting the story? how many times people have let me down, but you have to stay committed, right? So you have to stay committed, and you have to literally remove yourself from elements that are going to drag you down from rewriting your story. When you're rewriting your story, sometimes you have to be prepared to do what it takes. So for example, if you live in a neighborhood that's not good for your kids, and this is an example, and you can physically get up and move, then perhaps rewriting the story means that you need to get up and move, right? You have to be radical in rewriting your story. You have to be non-negotiable. You have to be unapologetic. You have to be committed and be there thinking, no matter what it takes, within reason and decency, I am going to do it. So sometimes it means you have to let some things go. Sometimes it means you have to come out of a relationship that's not serving you. And it's painful because some of you still like the little hanky-panky. But apart from the hanky-panky, nothing else is happening. So you have to rewrite that story, right? So you have to be willing and able and unapologetic and committed and ready to do whatever it takes within reason and decency to rewrite the story. And the last thing that you have to do, number 4, and I'm only giving you 4 here, you have to take time out to reflect. Yes, you have to take time out to reflect and evaluate that which you've been through. Why did I end up here? What did I do to contribute? Do you know I've had to sit down and say, Ava, what did you do? What did you do, girlfriend? What was your role? You have to be able to put the mirror inwards and say, what was my role in this? What did I do? Hi, Gary. Hi, Anthony. What did I do? Self-reflection. Can somebody write that for me? What did I do to end up here? Because you did something. And until you can recognize that, you cannot rewrite your story. So those are my simple tips. I'm out of here. I'm done. I am going to get myself sorted for bed because I'm exhausted. But those are my tips about how to rewrite your story. If ever I can help you rewrite your physical story, like your book, please let me know. I'm about to launch volume 2 of the Thank You, Gavette, the Single Mother Anthology. If you want to be involved, let me know. I'm only taking this time about 10 women. I'm not doing the huge sums of people. If you want to be involved, please let me know. We're taking applications and having discussions. It's not everybody that come will be involved. But also, if you want to rewrite your story of anywhere you are in your life, any place you are, inbox me now and let's have the conversation. And remember, there's nothing wrong with starting over. Absolutely nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with rewriting your story. Sometimes the story you rewrite becomes a better story than the one that you're stuck in. So remember that. It's Ava Eagle Brown. I'm out of here. I'm exhausted. Thank you for joining me. And I look forward to serving you as a life book or business strategist. I am excited about the future. I hope you are too, because every day I'm rewriting a new chapter of my life. And I implore you to do the same. Peace out. God bless. Enough love. Thank you.